AFC and DXB, and we are back on the boulevard. Happy New Year to everyone, especially you Gunners. What a way to start the new year. 4 points clear at the top of the league. City bottled it yesterday. Granit Xhaka, you beauty. Pep, you little bald fraud. And Haaland, you weird alien. Couldn't get the job done yesterday. And Arsenal now 4 points clear at the top of the league at the start of the new year, and a chance to make that 7 early tomorrow when we play Bournemouth before City play Chelsea. I had hopes for City actually dropping points to Chelsea as well, but they've just sacked their manager, and Caicedo's got himself a 50 yellow card in season, so he's banned as well. That complete nut job. Don't ever compare him to Declan Rice again. The man's got no discipline. But we digress. Some post-match thoughts for the Villa game, some pre-match for Bournemouth that we're going to go through in a bit. But yeah, let's touch on the Villa game first. I know it's been a few days, chance to sink in the performance. That this video could have been really different, because that first half was so bad. Like, we just looked bereft of ideas. We were all doing the thing. We were like, oh, Emery's got one over Arteta again. But Arteta, whatever he said at half time, pulled the boys through. They came out with a fire in their belly, is what I'm going to say. And they were just sensational, especially led by the captain Ødegaard yesterday. And maybe just briefly touching on him, that was a proper captain's performance. I've been on his back. I've been on Ødegaard's back a little bit, because I really think Rice should be our captain. I'm not going to change my mind on that. I think Declan Rice should be our captain. But I'm loving Ødegaard's form at the moment. He scored against Brighton. Magnificent assist against Villa for the Zubimendi goal. And he started pulling the strings a little bit. And that's what, unfortunately, Eze at the moment is holding the bench. But that's what he's missing in his game, pulling the strings for us like Ødegaard does. He hasn't quite grasped that yet, so he's on the bench for us. But let's focus on the players that are doing the job at the moment. Ødegaard's sensational. I don't want to hear any arguments on what I'm about to say next. Gabriel is the best centre-back in the world. There's no one else at the moment that does what he does in both boxes. He strikes fear in the opposition. Martinez basically shat his pants when Gabriel stepped up at that corner. Couldn't handle him, couldn't hold on to the ball. And Gabriel is on a different level at the moment. You can see the threat piece set. The threat from set pieces now is back with Gabriel, and he does the job in the other box as well with Saliba. So yeah, I can't think of another centre back at the moment that is doing what Gabriel's doing. So for me at the moment, he is the best centre back in the world. Who else? I mean, there's a guy we should now discuss we look at him in a new light, and that is Leo Trossard. And if you're an Arsenal fan that grew up in the 90s and saw us winning leagues in 97, 98, early 2000s, he's got this aura about him that can only be sort of described as a kind of Wiltord, Ljungberg, Overmars, Kanu, these kind of peripheral figures that we have in our team, that we had in our squad, that stepped up for us in title-winning seasons, and stepped up when the bigger players might have dropped off a little bit. And he's giving those vibes at the moment. He's so clutch. He's our best finisher. And he's not just doing the finishing thing anymore. He's actually playing amazingly well. And at a time where we've kind of, we've been a bit upset about that left-hand side. No one's really claimed the spot. Martinelli, Eze, Trossard. Trossard's really stepped up. And he's now not just scoring bangers, he's scoring important goals. He's playing superbly well. He's creating assists. He created a good couple of chances yesterday for Gyökeres that he couldn't put away. But yeah, Trossard is giving me Ljungberg vibes at the moment. Just stepping up when we need it, when we need a clutch goal. Him, Gabriel, Ødegaard, I think were the three players that really stepped up in the midweek game against Villa. One maybe slight negative is that Gyökeres is just not... What did I say the other day? He's just not that good. He's not that good at football, but I did say he needs to get goals though. He doesn't have to play well, but he needs to keep racking up 1 or 2 goals, an assist. Just hold the ball up a little bit. Just do something that we can all get behind you for. But at the moment, man, he's struggling. Is he that bad? Is the Portuguese league really just a fraud league where people can just go from the Championship to that league and look good? I don't know, but he didn't seem that bad when he played us in the Champions League. But at the moment, he's struggling for confidence. I'm not giving up on him yet, but I do think that is his last string of fixtures for the meantime. Just given now we have Gabriel and even Havertz is back now as well. So we know how much Arteta loves Havertz. And Gabriel Jesus, he's doing unbelievably well. And Thank God for Gabriel Jesus. Thank Jesus for Jesus, because he is playing unbelievably well for us right now. He's come back from the injury. There's something different about him. He's got this, when players come back from injury, you can either see they've either lost it or they've got something back, and he seems to have found another level in him. We know he's not going to be an expert finisher, but his technique and his touch and his interplay with other players is just sensational. And with Havertz back now as well, we've got two good strikers. We should have three good strikers at Gyökeres, but like I said, it's the only sort of black mark a little bit on what is a pretty good patch for us. Yeah, I mean, like, one thing I want to talk about as well is just, one sec, sorry. Unai Emery, end of that game. I mean, he's a fraud. Do you know what? He goes around and everyone talks about like he's the second best manager in the league and he's doing this outstanding job with Villa. But what a classless man. Just shake hands after the game, my friend. You come across a lot more bitter when you don't shake hands. You're third, you're doing all right. That's where you belong, roughly. Second, third, fourth, whatever. You're not going for the league. You knew you were never going for the league, so why are you upset? You got beaten by the better team. We got our payback on you. You and your little boy, Emi Martinez, trying to be the troll all game, and then you got trolled by the end of the game. And Emery, classless. I thought Arteta handled it with a lot of class. He said he doesn't care. And he doesn't really care, right? Emery's not our problem. City are our problem. And even they drop points midweek. So, with that being said, now we head into the Bournemouth game. And I really have a feeling we're going to stuff Bournemouth because we've hit a bit of form. The players that we want to be performing are performing. Ødegaard, we've got the back four back, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba. If we have three of those back four back on a regular basis, we're going to win the league. You can see as soon as that defence gets back, they are rock solid. We've got choices now. So, starting lineup for Bournemouth tomorrow. I'm going to go with Raya, standard. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, standard. If Calafiori is still injured, we've got Hincapié. I wouldn't mind giving Lewis Skelly a start either. Midfield, I think Rice is looking like he might still be out. So go with the same midfield. Zubamendi, Ødegaard and Merino. I would not start Eze just yet because I don't think Ødegaard and Eze can play together in midfield. It's too open. We were already too open against Villa in that first half, and I don't think those two can quite hold it down in terms of in the midfield as a block. Merino, look, he's not as good in midfield as he is as a second striker. My hand's getting a bit tired. Let me just turn myself. He's not as good as a midfielder as he is compared to when he plays the false nine position, but I'd give him a go because we haven't really got that many options. I don't really want to start Norgard there at the moment. I don't think he's good enough, even though he can do a job off the bench. And Ødegaard, I think, is better than Eze at the moment in terms of playing the number 10 role. Front three. Now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Saka. There's a conversation, and I'm Saka's biggest fan, but there's a conversation for him potentially at some point maybe being dropped. Hear me out. Although he's getting the GNA, his overall game, I think we can agree, is a bit lackluster at the moment. So that's one part at the moment. The second part is he's playing every game, pretty much nearly every game, full 90 minutes. So does Madueke deserve some time? Is Madueke good enough to start for us? Does he deserve another go? Do we need to rest Saka a little bit? Do we need to create a system where if someone is not playing that well, that they do risk losing their position? And maybe that is the time now for maybe Madueke to come in. I still maybe wouldn't do it. I will still potentially start Saka. I'm just saying there's a conversation to be had there. Up front, I'm going with Jesus over Gyökeres. I think I've said enough about Gyökeres. I don't want to slag him off too much, but he's not doing it. And he's not just doing it, he's... my son's just smiling at me, sorry. Gyökeres is just not doing it at the moment. Jesus is the man, I think. He's got off the mark. He's got that first goal, amazing goal. So he definitely starts up front. And you can't drop Trossard. You can't drop Trossard at the moment. He's playing too well. He's so clutch for us. Bournemouth are good. They've got obviously decent players. Kluivert, Semenyo. Semenyo might be going to City. I don't know if he's going to go before that game. Probably not. It's already Friday. So he might play. But I'm not overly worried. 3 points against Bournemouth is a must. It's a must every game. But the reason it's a must is because you need to... Imagine going 7 points clear of City. Just mentally. For us and for them. Knowing they've got Chelsea the next day, they've got a day to think about that game, a day to think that they're 7 points behind. The pressure's on them again. They're not chasing us if we're going 7 points clear. It's more like the pressure's on them. And I think like psychologically they hold this thing in their head as if like they got to stay like 5 points in touching distance with us so they can catch us in February. If we can build that to 7, 8, knock their confidence a bit. We've got a ton of hard fixtures to come. We've got Liverpool, even though they're shit, they still give us a hard time at the Emirates. We've got Chelsea home and away in the Carling Cup. We've got Man United coming up, even though again they're shit. But these are all teams that can potentially cause us problems. So if we can build a little buffer before that, then I'm pretty confident we can go into those games with a bit of pressure off. But yeah, hugely important to do that tomorrow. Get the 3 points on the board. Let City go to Chelsea. Let City play Chelsea with a bit of pressure on them. And like they did against Sunderland, they can feel the pressure too. They felt it yesterday against Sunderland. They bottled it, and now we just need to take advantage tomorrow. Go 7 points clear. There's a lot to be positive about at the moment. And yeah, guys, AFC and DXB. I will do a post-match after the Sunderland. Maybe I'll do it after the Man City Chelsea game, so there's a bit more to talk about. But yeah, like and subscribe, guys. Peace.